YouTube was good. It's your boy, Paulus Harris, aka Crazy Uncle. Hey, guess what? This your first time tuning in. Go ahead, hit the doggone subscribe button, hit notification bell every time I post up new content. Now, considering the type of person that I am, and yes, here it is once again. And I got another one in the refrigerator. So here we are once again talking about some bullshit news, right? So, and the only reason why I said it because apparently there's a fog out there, or it was out there, right? That for the most part is making people sick in several states, right? Now, my whole deal about that is this, right? And this is why I did the equation like how I did it, right? Chemtrails plus H.A.A.R.P equals fog, right? So, and so, so from, not to say that I'm trying to downplay anybody here, but I'm just actually really just stopping thinking for a minute. Okay, for those of y'all that are actually really hollering about this fog, 9 times out of 10, you probably already knew about the chemtrails and what H.A.A.R.P does to these chemtrails, right? So now all of a sudden, right, I'm just almost at this point of the junction, you know, y'all actually really knew something was bound to happen sooner or later. If something hasn't already happened previous to this, right? So, but I just, I look at stuff like this, right? And then right off, a lot of y'all, it's gonna be like, oh shit. No wonder I've been feeling this way. It's called psychological warfare, people. Right? That's almost like, okay, it's listen, it's nothing more, it's damn near the same thing that they did way back in 2015 and 2016 with the so-called dreaded COVID-19 virus. Right? Now, great the fact it gave you the exact same symptoms as if you either had the common cold or the flu, right? But if you had a grandma, if your grandma or big mama or whatever you still call her, still living, and she's past the age of 60, right? Then you call grandma and say, hey, grandma, this. And then she'll like, well, come on over to the house, baby. And then she'll boil some orange juice or whatever uh remedy that she gonna use, and then she ain't gonna tell you nothing. Well, get your ass under the motherfucking covers and sweat that shit out. Right? And then come the next day, you feel like that you never had it. Right? So everybody that's sitting up here that's talking about this shit, because here's the deal. What happens with a select few people, and I know I've said this plenty of times, you could be like, okay, you could tell one person something and be like, okay, say this word for word, right? And then go tell the next person, and then have them go tell the next person, next person, just as long as it get back to your ass. And then by the time it get back to you, it is totally completely something different than what the fuck you actually really put out. So again, knowing that chemtrails have been up in the air forever and a day. The H.A.A.R.P machine has been working forever and a day. So I'm just like, oh, now all of a sudden, everybody want to get sick now. Come on now, people. Y'all should know better than y'all should know better than y'all should know better than that. Y'all should, but it's quite obvious that y'all don't. Right? But hey, that's neither here nor there. I mean, I would have actually like really said the other shit, but hey, look, I try to tell you, crazy uncle trying to calm down. Not to say that the crazy uncle is trying to get any sponsors or anything, because if these motherfuckers ain't coming, they ain't trying to hear it. But in either case, I'm trying not to be like stupid motherfucker this, ignorant motherfucker that, and the other, right? And for the most part, I really think that I'm doing pretty good without calling y'all that, But listen, people, with all this stuff that's going on, right? We had the doggone stuff that happened down there in New Orleans on New Year's Day. Then we had the stuff, I want to say that both of them happened actually on the same day, right? Just separate times apart. But, before I get to that, they was actually really talking about, okay, these guys, they was in the army at one point, blah, 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 or whatever. And they rented vehicles, which for the most part, okay, that's red flag number one. Why the fuck would you rent a vehicle to do anything? They're like, other than, and then, let's just say this. Why leave a motherfucking paper trail, right? Knowing that this was your intent all along, right? Same thing with the shit that happened there at the Trump Tower, right? Another Army veteran, right? And then he gonna go rent some shit. So again, I'm just like, okay, why leave a motherfucking paper trail? But like this, if you're gonna knock somebody off, right, then you go ahead, you knock somebody off. Don't leave no goddamn paper trail, right? The only motherfuckers that leave paper trails or want people to create a paper trail is the motherfuckers, the powers that shouldn't be. They actually really want to see, okay, we did it like this, it really didn't work. We did it like that, or we tried to do it like this. And both times, shit didn't work. And if you actually really stop and think about it, the shit went backwards. You blow up, you run over people in New Orleans, and then you just hit the shit out there in the main entrance. Now, this could actually like really, these people right here, the guy that shot the health insurance guy, the stuff down in New Orleans, and the stuff down there, and that happened at Trump Towers. They, to my understanding, I thought that the MK Ultra shit was all said and done for. But apparently that is not the motherfucking case. These three individuals, right? And y'all already know what I call Luigi. So I called him a Manchurian candidate. 9 times out of 10, the guy that acts like really did all this shit down there in New Orleans, and the guy that did that stuff at the Trump Towers, and I want to say it's Denver, Colorado. And then, do we really need to talk about Denver, Colorado, considering why that airport is so out the motherfucking way of every goddamn thing? And then you got the Tesla vehicle. So Nikola Tesla did shit that was, for the most part, way ahead of his motherfucking time. Well, not ahead of his time, but everybody else's time. You know, he was so motherfucking far ahead of the game to it's motherfucking ridiculous. But then if you actually really stop and think about it for a minute, I mean, he realized at one point that the human body and the planet Earth itself is connected as one individual. And then once he figured that out, then he knew how to capture that electricity. Plain and simple. But I know I'm getting off subject here, but my whole deal is with the fog, hey, I'm gonna call cap on that because of what the fuck, because of their motherfucking equation. Plain and simple. Right? I already told you how I felt about the guy that shot the insurance man. And then 9 times out of 10, I'm almost at this point of the juncture. Since y'all actually really want to blame shit on shit, let's just say that whatever motherfucking fog that was, it got hold to old boy that ran through New Orleans, right? And then the other guy that motherfucking parked the car in front of Trump Plaza right there in Denver, Colorado, or where the fuck it was at. Now, hey, look, it is what it is, but all what I'm saying is this. Somebody somewhere is gonna like, hey, look, we're gonna need for you to take this hit, right? So that we can look like that we're doing our job. But even then, right? We still don't know how to do our job because we having y'all do rental cars and shit, right? And give y'all like checking credit scores or whatever the fuck that you do. So I'm just like, look, people, if I was one of them motherfuckers that had a whole lot of power, right? I'm just like, okay, I don't like what he's saying, or I don't like what she's saying, or I don't like what the fuck they saying. What can we do about it? Without it actually really getting back to us. And you motherfuckers know how to do this shit. So I'm just like, why y'all got motherfuckers written trucks and cars and shit? You know, so I'm like, I mean, what did y'all put in their head? Y'all had to, but then again, I also look at this shit. I'm just like, hey, look, they served this country just like I did. And once they felt like that their time was up, right? They go try to get everything that is entitled to them. And for them to only be like, you know what? You've been denied. Because I'm going through that shit now. I'm waiting for these motherfuckers, you know, to tell me yay or nay on my other 30%. But now, am I actually going to go out there and fuck up somebody? No, I ain't going to do that. But I'm just saying, like, okay, depending on whatever type of job that they had, right? Which I heard one of them was special forces, and the other one was intelligence, right? So he knew shit. So, or both of them knew shit. But in either case, right? You got to be like, excuse me, the fog. So, but with these two, you got to look at yourself like, okay, hey, look, they serve their country, or they serve this country. Yeah, they fall capping y'all. So, but in our case, they do this thinking that this. They do this thinking that, hey, look, they doing, good for the country. Only to know that, hey, guess what? You just got fucked over. And so, 9 times out of 10, that's what happened. They got tired because they got promised whatever the fuck, and then they just went off on their motherfucking body. Take it how you will, people. So, with that being said, guess what? Tell your mama, tell your daddy, tell your dad, tell your birthday, your uncle, your auntie, your grandma, your papa, motherfucker next door across the street around the corner. Father Harris, a.k.a. Crazy Uncle. Holla at y'all.